Man, Helldivers has just not been as fun as it was. I can remember us all charging to our hell pods, desperate to get another chance to mess up some bugs and bots. The weapons feel bad, nerfs everywhere. Maybe the war for Super Earth might simply be lost. Wait, what's that? Why are we transitioning to a... It has finally happened. Over the last 2 weeks, Helldivers has been rushing back to their super carriers, diving into their hell pods, eager to blow things up. Between 100 and 200,000 Helldivers have been actively playing concurrently at the same time, and this is no coincidence, as Helldivers II has made one of the most surprising comebacks I've ever seen in gaming history. There are new guns, new armor, new enemies, new maps, new stratagems, new missions. There is so much to explore and do, and in this video I'll be going over all of this. So Hell Jumpers, get in the tube
and get set for a combat drop.
So, we have a new enemy, the Illuminate. Let's start with the first basic enemy, the zombie. These are pretty easy to dodge, but in a horde they can quickly overwhelm you. Impacts are pretty good, mow them down with machine guns, everything that is really good at horde clear is great here. Also, look at them. What happened to these people? Well, apparently they're known as the Voteless. I don't know, all I know is I'm going to mow them down and punch the absolute living shit out of them. What kind of probing device was shoved up their rectum to create this abomination? I don't know. But next, we have the Soldiers of the Squids. These armored up enemies can take quite a few bullets and come in two different types. First, we have the melee variant. These guys slumber towards you, shooting balls of light at you that can easily wipe out a Helldiver. Luckily, they have a little bit of Stormtrooper aim, otherwise there will be quite a lot of problems here. But this quarterstaff is the main threat to them, as it's also what they use to lunge at you in melee. For this reason, keep your range and blast their heads off where their armor is weakest. Second, there's the Flyers. These Flyers are an absolute pain in the ass and probably one of the most annoying enemies in the entire update. They have the same armor as the melee guys, but they can fly and they buzz around left to right. They're really hard to hit. They come with a rifle that fires at a reasonable speed, and about 2 to 3 shots is usually about enough to take you out without a shield pack. Luckily, they do have a weakness. If you have a friend, fan out and shoot them in the back. Their jetpacks will blow up and instantly kill them. Obviously, the head still works, but with their swaying, it can be pretty hard to hit. Then, there's the honorable mention of these floating scout drones. They're annoying, because they slow you down and zap you a little bit. At first, that's about it. They're not that bad, but unlike other factions where everybody calls in reinforcements, these guys in particular are the things that calls in reinforcements, and tons of dropships will come bearing down on you the moment they spot you and shoot their flare up into the sky. Blow them up immediately, do not waste time. Last but very much not least, there's these walkers, also known as harvesters. The walkers are practically the battle titans of this faction. Once they take damage or lock onto a target, they start up a shield. The shield can be shot off by shooting just below their eye. The shield regenerates in approximately 10 seconds. While I would not suggest getting close, they aren't any less scary at range. When these behemoths start charging, you better start running for your life, as their laser will tear through buildings and anything else destructible. You know these lasers are being fired when you hear this audible dubstep sound in the background. While it might not look like they initially hit, they swipe their laser across to try to hit you. Do not stand still and keep fucking running. With all these enemies, there's quite some threat to the squids, and it can lead to some very intense situations. And this is very perfectly helped by the new CQB city maps that they've added. These maps are maps that have been taken over by the Illuminate. Civilians have been turned into zombies, and slowly more and more Illuminate will come down if you don't take care of them quickly. Luckily, there's a few ways to take care of them. First off, there's the ships. The ships are very easy sights. All you've got to do is shoot up the shield of a ship and throw a grenade inside. It'll solve all your problems as the ship will blow up and reinforcements stop spawning from them. Kind of the same like the other spawners from the other factions, but instead you need to shoot the shield off first. They're pretty tough, and even a 500 kilogram is not enough to get through it, but if you have a decent weapon for popping shields, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Run up, throw a grenade in, be done with it. Next up, if you want to stop reinforcements, there's a lot of SAM sites usually inside these cities. Once activated, these SAM sites will shoot down the enemy reinforcement that comes flying in. This is perfect if you want to make the map a lot easier for you to make it through. Though, there is an honorable mention here that there are Tesla towers, so be very careful when approaching new sites, as you might just get zapped. There is also a new defense mission with gates, you can take turrets, and a straight line to defend from. All I can say is, more of this please, thank you. This scratches my tower defense itch, and this game is the perfect game for this with all the turrets that exist in it. It would be awesome to have some sort of horde mode someday. Possibly a cool idea for the future, but anyway, let's carry on, because I don't want to make this a long-ass video. Let's get next up to the buffs, and instead of going over literally everything, because everything has basically been buffed, the best way to describe it that even the railgun is back to its glory days, so it should give you a bit of an idea of how much stuff has been buffed, that even the railgun is back, that thing that for some reason the devs seem to really hate. It is so fun to play again. Everything just feels so good, and the game is so incredibly fun. It is a PvE game, and I cannot stress this enough. Please keep it fun, guys. This is what we wanted. We wanted a fun PvE game to play, and now buffing everything back up makes it so much better to play. If you're still around now, it's clear either a big Helldivers fan, you're very excited about the new stuff and all, or you've left the video on autoplay. Nevertheless, it appears there's more to talk about even after this. If you haven't played the game in a long time, like myself, you might notice there's more ship modules available. 2 per category to be precise. Next to this, there's also a ton of new stratagems for you to choose from. While I won't be going over everything in a lot of detail, just know there's things like mechs in the game now, and even with this update, there's a lot of new stratagems that have come in. I will be quickly going over these. You've got the Sterilizer, a new directional shield, a flame sentry, an anti-tank emplacement gun, and oh lord, this thing is fucking amazing. This turret is basically the equivalent of, oh my god, there's a dropship incoming, shoot it down, no worries Jimbo, it's already in pieces, dropping on top of your head right now. Then there's the new micro-missile launcher, which has been given out to everybody last weekend for free, and now with Christmas has become available to everyone as a proper stratagem. If you play it, you got it for free. You might have to unlock it if you haven't, but I'd suggest just quickly logging in. Next up, there's been a lot of new weapons added, and one last thing that I really want to point out, the buggy is finally here. While the steering can only be described as unwieldy, it is a very solid way to just traverse the map quickly, and if you know how to shift up and down your gears, it becomes a lot more controllable. The gun on it is alright with a decent bit of ammo, I believe it's like 3 magazines, and it has room for the whole squad to get inside. Just be careful not hitting each other while you're leaning out the window, shooting bugs and squids and stuff. It can happen occasionally. With the new war bonds, there's also tons of cosmetics to unlock, and new things to show off your patriotism with. The repeated orders have also been helping with this, rewarding unique armor and weapons for participating. While this is a lot of positive stuff, there's also something I must point out. This cannot go unnoticed. What the fuck is this? I really hope this won't continue in the future, as the game is on such a good trajectory. If you're wondering why this is such a problem, putting a gun inside a paid store is putting gameplay behind a paywall. Whereas normally you can just unlock it from a pass, and you can earn this pass at your own rate whenever you feel like it. This is a limited time store, meaning after it's out of the store, it's gone. Maybe they'll give it at some point in a pass or something, I don't know what their plan is with it, but as of right now it is limited, and that is not a good thing. This adds a point of fear of missing out, and this is not good for people. Like, please don't do this again. But nonetheless, let's get back on track, as I'd rather not focus on the negative too much with this video, as obviously Helldivers has been going amazing. Because with all this being said, Helldivers numbers are up. There are things to purge, and divers are back to blowing up anything in their path. It shows that when a game is fun and has content to play, people are likely to do exactly that, play it. I really wish the best to the devs, and hope they keep this up, and please, the microtransactions tone it down a little bit, okay? That's all I gotta say. I can't wait to see where it's going from here, especially as some lore stuff has popped out earlier this week about some black hole that might have something to do with both terminids and squids. We will see very soon. But for now, that will be all. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.